Good evening and welcome to You to Blaze with interFace Gambia showing on Ben TV. With me I have a great panel. On my right I have Mrs. Julie Okipo, aka J Star, a lawyer by profession, a mother of 4, ranging from the age of 32 downwards, a housekeeper and also a gospel artist who recently released an album for charity. Next to her I have Caroline Stanley, a mother of 2 and a businesswoman. Then on my left, Jessie Candy, a student from Waltham Forest College. And next to her I have Usei Jawo, who's a theatre nurse and a mother of 1. On our last show we had a very important discussion about young people and who is responsible for an individual's action and where they end up in life. Before we go into that second part of that discussion, we're just going to take a 2 minutes recap on the last program to let you have a look at how far we came at that discussion, and then we'll continue from there.
Today with me on the show I have Usei, Caroline and Jenny. These ladies are going to be joining me in discussing a very important topic about young people. Today's topic, ladies, is: are young people taking responsibilities for their actions? Where do we draw the line? Do we blame society? Do we blame our parents? Do we blame ourselves? Who is responsible for who? Then do you blame if you don't achieve a better result in life? As we say, I will let you. What are your thoughts on that?
Thank you for having me on your show. I think it's the individual, young people, parents and society. They all have factors of a young person being, failure or not being what they want to be in society.
So I will go to Caroline. What are your thoughts on?
I think I agree with her because as a parent myself, yes, but if you don't have that, I think the most important thing to do is, look at yourself and just do it yourself. That's it.
We'll hear from Jenny now. What is your...
Personally, I think it's the individual.
Welcome back and thank you once again for joining us. Today we're going to go into the second part of our discussion. Who takes responsibility for how they end up in life? I would let Mrs. Okipo enlighten us when it comes to that aspect, because she's the mother figure that we have in our midst, and today we would like to hear from a mother figure how in terms of when you bring up your children, what you expect from them, how if they end up good or bad in life, whose responsibility is it then, therefore?
Good evening. Whose responsibility is it when you bring up children?
Yes.
And they end up bad or good?
Yes.
Well, it's partly the mother and partly the child himself or the young adult.
Yes.
Because most of the thing that the child sees from the first age is the parents. Then whatever they hold on to is what they take out there. That's the second company they have out there. So mother is responsible and the child is responsible, because some you taught them well and they turn out bad. So whatever you do, whether you are poor or rich, so it's just the company they go with. So you have to reassure the child and make sure you ask, who are you with, where are you going? Then when you see bad behavior, you can call the other parents and say, I don't know, this is what I've been seeing with this child. I don't know whether your daughter do that or something. Because when you bring up a child or when you bring up your children, you know when they pick up something bad habit. Maybe there wasn't smoking, and you start smelling smoking from them. Then you ask, are you smoking? No, my friend smoked, I was in their midst. trust them. Don't just accuse them. Oh, you smoke, I can smell it, because they get angry and say, well, I've told you I'm not smoking. Well, if you do that to a child or to children, then they rebel. Well, my mom don't trust me, so well, I must as well do it. So does that answer your question?
It does answer the question. For me, for instance, I will give you a scenario that I have. A child grows up in an abusive home, you know, so this is what they see all the time. He or she grows up and then becomes an abuser. So then whose fault is it? Is it because of what they have seen? Could they have changed the situation and become a much better person from the life that they have seen and the life that they've come to know? Because I think one of the discussions that we had the last time was that we had to agree to disagree on the fact that it depends on how much your parents invest in you. But then again, we also look at a scenario where you have a child who grows up in a very good home. They lack nothing. They have all the discipline and the training that a child could possibly have, but then grow up into an adult and it's like they're probably coming from a poor background, or they never had that investment, and so forth and so on. So I will go to Jessie, and just from a young person's perspective, what do you think?
I personally think, like, when a child is a mother's responsibility for where they choose to live, area is very important, because where you live is like how you become. If you live in an environment whereas everybody stays indoors, nobody plays outside, you're likely to stay inside and, you know, do whatever you have to do inside. But where you live, if you live in a place like everybody's always going out, you're like, there's a lot of people who are always, you know, in a certain place, you would want to follow that kind of trend around your area. So if a mother can be wise enough to choose appropriately where to live, anywhere in London, then I think it will have more impact on a child becoming a better person when they grow up. And most parents of today don't support, don't really pay attention to the schools their children are going to. I think that's another problem that we're having as well, because if your child's going to school because of where all their friends are going, then, you know, they're following people, then peer pressure kicks in. They start doing things because, you know, my friends are doing this. But then parents don't understand. They think that, oh, yeah, they, you know, it's secondary school, they can go wherever they want to go now. Like, I had a choice when it was primary school, because she had no, like, you didn't know anything about primary school. Now secondary school is your own choice. But what they don't understand is secondary school is a year of where it can break somebody or make somebody. And most of the times up to date is breaking loads of girls, loads of boys. At the age of 16, girls are getting pregnant. Why is that? Because the school they end up in, area they're living in, and parents not having a say in what they want their children to do. I understand that we have freedom, yes we do, but then parents of today are just, you know, going ahead and saying that, you know, let them do what they want to do. They are, you know, they have wise choices and things.
They have the choice, and I think that's one of the issues, because it's the freedom. And now especially where we live, because when I was growing up in Africa, it was completely different. You know, your parents tell you to do this and you expect that that's what you're meant to do because your parents say so. Whereas now a lot of people, we've moved to the western side and we have that freedom. Now kids know how to dial and call the police or social services or anything like that if you try and discipline them. By even simply just shouting at them, they will threaten you with that, you know, I'm going to call social services or I'm going to call the police, that you're trying to do this, you're trying to do that. But it's a very good point that you've raised about how the school that you choose for your children, the environment that you live in is also an effect, because it was one of the things that we were discussing the last time, that how does society come into this as well? Because it's not just parents, you know, you do your job at home when your kids are with you, but then when they go outside, what then happens? So I'll come to you, Caroline, if you could, are your thoughts still the same as the last time, or?
Yeah, I still hold my stand that the first person to blame is the mother, because from that time that you're a baby, It's what you're teaching them, what you're telling them, that's in their head. And I do understand that there are children that will go out there and become something else at that point where you're not there. But at least you know as a parent that you have done everything in your power that you would do. Do you understand? For that child to become different. I was so glad when I heard you say about the decision, because I grew up in London, in Brixton for that matter. But now I live in Essex. And I love it because I know there are less, you know, people when my nieces and nephews, they go to London, they're like, auntie, because they're not, it's different. So we need to make us parents, we need to make wise choice in where we bring up our children, what they do in school, where they're going with their friends, get to know who their friends are as well. It's not just, oh, that's my friend mommy, and you say, oh, okay, how are you? All right, come and eat, and that's it. No, you try to, you know, interact with those people. That way you get a little bit more. Then when your child is doing something wrong, you can actually sense it, and you know it's not just about saying society. Yes, society is this, but what you teach your children. If you come to me and say, mommy, I'm going to call social media, I say, please be my guest, go and call them. Do you understand? When you call them, I'll go and have another one. But the thing is, I've been telling you from when you're young to this stage, so whatever you do from 18, 21 onwards, it's your choice. I've done my best, and that's it. So I definitely have to blame the parents. Then when you reach to that stage, then you as an individual, it's up to you.
So far I've heard well, the two mothers mention mothers. So where do fathers come in? And I will throw that question to you to say, because you know, when we think about parents, most of the time we're thinking about, you know, the mothers. You carry the child for 9 months, and then the child comes in, and then, you know, you do the job and all of that stuff. But where do you think that the father's input in this comes in?
As you know, we all know, mothers are the main party in bringing children, because we are the one who carry the baby, nurture them and stuff. And most of the time, if it's a traditional family, the women stay mostly at home, and the father go out and find money for the family. But it's very important as well for the father to be involved in the upbringing of the kids, as you know, Caroline said, you know. And yes, the area that you live, you have to communicate, both mother and the father, the upbringing of their kids, because you know, it's not one person's decision. Sometimes, you know, you have this conflict between two parents saying, oh, we're going to live here, and the other one say live in there, and the person who suffers in that midst is the child or the children that's involved. And you know, knowing their friends and knowing the friends' parents as well, making friends with your, you know, your kids' parents, it makes a very, you know, big difference, because you know where they're from, what home they come from. And then, you know, you two, you can, you know, we are all parents, but we are not perfect. We might think we're doing the best, but sometimes there's a room for improvement. And if you have that open mind, you know, you can be a better parent. And just, you know, don't be scared of calling social services and stuff. You can discipline your child differently. You don't need to shout, you don't need to, you know, hit them, or, you know, physical abuse, or, you know, you can talk to them, communicate with them, because the kids are clever than we think they are. You know, as you know, when they're young, you train them, they're saying, okay, then this is the way you're supposed to behave. And even though sometimes when they're about teenagers age, they start, you know, trying different things, but then they'll realize, okay, then I have the best family at home, I need to change. This is not what I've got at home. I need to change to be the best person I can be.
Okay. From what I am hearing so far, it brings this question to mind. Is it important when a child or a young person then has both parents at home? Can some of the problems or some of the issues be related to maybe being brought up by one parent, or maybe not having one parent's involvement, even though, say, your parents are together, but then you're not having the involvement of either your mom or your dad in your upbringing? Sometimes some kids would rebel because they just feel like, how comes, you know, Johnny has mommy and daddy and I only have mommy, or I only have daddy? And so therefore they just feel like they're missing out on something, and in looking for that something end up doing things that they're not supposed to do. What how do you see that? Because I know you hang out with you have lots of young friends, lots of young people.
Personally, I don't know none of my friends live with their father. We all live with our mother, including myself. And some of us, it's not by choice, it's by force, because their parents don't want to be together. And what they don't understand is that when you decide to have a kid, you have made a commitment to, you know, love and protect this child. And, you know, parents these days are, I would say, being selfish by thinking it's okay to just, you know, think that they can have a divorce. Regardless whatever they're going through or whatever's going on, they should always think about the kid. Because, like, for a child to witness their mother and father being together for so long, and then after all they just, you know, have to explain to a child that your mom and dad can't live in the same house anymore, can have a great impact on them. And this is the reason why loads of young people are going out there to, you know, find a life for themselves. Because if you come from a broken home, when you grow up, you're not going to have a stable mind, because everything plays in your head every time, and that could have an impact on your education as well and everything else. Like, I personally don't think I know anyone with a father, and even if I do, they're not like, they don't really say that dad do this to them, because every parent, like every dad, it's always the mother we hear nowadays. The father role is not like before now. The fathers are disappearing out the thing now. They're not even there no more. I don't know what their role is anymore. I don't know.
What about you, Mrs. Okipo? How?
She's right. JC, what's your name? Use said something about mother checking on children, and she also say is the mother that spend more time with the child. I remember what my pastor said. He said children can sell their mother. So I quote, he said, because father don't take nonsense, mother with their children will say to their mother, Mom, I want to buy that game. Mom, it's very good. Mom, can we go and see? Mom, they say you can buy it and pay little by little. And the mother goes and put herself in trouble. Father will say, go and sit down, read your book first. I don't want to buy any game. So I don't have money for games. So now again, as for me, like she said, JC said, I bring up my children on my own as a single mother. But that does not give a license to a child to behave foolishly. Because from beginning, when they were young, I treat them kindly. I've never hurt my child. I've never even smacked them. When I look them that way, they know what I'm saying. And when they're doing something good, I smile at them. They know they continue doing it. And even when we are in public, when they give them something, they say, look, I give to them, they won't take it.
You know whether to accept
and if I want them to accept it, there's another look I give, they take it. And I thank the person on their behalf. And people start giving comments, they are good. But some children, their mother leave them loose from beginning. You put this thing here, it's supposed to be air freshener to freshen the room. A child come, playing with them. Don't touch it. You are not meant to touch it. Go and play with your toy. You say it once. Second, you say it. Then third, you smack him. Go and play with your toy and leave those things alone. He will understand. But it's a leave him, he's a child. Leave him, he's a child. Let him touch it. Tomorrow you go and carry your pot of soup playing with it. So, what? Because you've left the child to lose.
To lose, yeah.
And again, if you are a single parent, you don't teach your children designer. You don't need to invest. You invest in their reading book. That's what you invest. You invest in their clothes they wear. But going by Nike. I remember my son, I buy him high tech. And he said to me, Mom, this boy has got a Nike. I said, the boy has got a father. You have no father. And I have 4 of you in the house. If I buy you one Nike, What am I going to buy to the rest? I said, wear your own. Make sure you clean them nice. And the boy that have Nike now come to ask him, where did your mother buy that? Because I like it.
Wow.
Because it's not designer. We're not talking about designer here, because some parents have money. They bring up their children. They taught them, you have to wear this, you have to wear this, you have to do that. You have to. So the child, it goes in their head. Then they look down on those that don't have. And again, because in the country we have here, you can't choose where to live. Because some are rich, some are poor.
Yes, yes.
And the housing give house to the poor. The rich can buy. They can choose the area they want to buy a house. So you that you are poor, you go to Bristol, Peckham to buy a house, you still have to teach your child that, look, know where you come from. Because I told my children, when they bring friends, they hang around, I said, no one stand at my doorstep. Come in.
Yes.
Sit in my living room. Give them water to drink. They are hungry. Feed them. I don't want you standing here, because nobody else standing around here. So I don't want I don't like them. They know me. Both the white and the Asian one that came to my house, they know, you don't stand at my door. You press the bell, I open the door for you. Oh, it's not in, come back later, or phone him. You see? So everybody, everyone you meet, a child you meet, whatever he turns out to be is how the parents has raised them from beginning when they were a child. It doesn't mean if they have a child. I know the male, if you have a male child, it's very difficult to bring out a male child. They feed that figure lack when they reach some certain age, like 20, 25. They say, oh, I want to say something to my dad, this and that, that and that. I remember driving my son one day, so I said to him, when you want to sleep with a girl, he was 24 then I said, if you want to sleep with a girl, you want to have sex with a girl, make sure you use condom. He said, Mom, then I don't want to go there. I said, you have to go there because you have no father. I'm the father and mother. Yes. So I was still driving, and I said to him, don't do it with that. He said, Mom, can you stop the car? I'm not comfortable, you see, because there are some things the father's supposed to tell him. Yes. It's not there. I have to do it. You do. Then the girls, I have to do it also. But here, I know they educate them at school. But the girl, I said to them, when they are going out the dress, I said, come, let me see you. What did you wear? Well, don't you think that's too short? Go and wear short knicker under it. If the wind blows, so I do things like that to them. Then I said to them, look, if you go out there, somebody tell you are beautiful, tell them your mother have already told you. Don't let them use that beauty to go to your honey pot, you know. I said, they will eat your sandwiches, so don't let them eat you. So, you know, things like that. You guide them from beginning, because when you open up to your child, male or female, they open up to you. But if you keep hiding, you don't want to talk about it, when they are in trouble, then they hide it from you, then things get out of hand and they run away. Then you start saying, but we were good. This country is lonely already. They sleep alone in their room. They watch telly in their room. Some mother, they are busy. They leave their child for nanny. They don't even have time where they say, Mom, go and read your book. Go to the nanny. Talk to the nanny. Do this to the nanny. The child don't even know who is mother anymore, who is nanny anymore. So, I mean, things like that. You have to put an eye on your child. No matter where you live, if you are a good parent, the child will turn out good. Some parents, they want their children to be doctor. When the child said, I want to be an hairdresser. No, you have to be a doctor. The other one said, I want to just go to normal school, you know, like catering school. No, catering, lawyer. You have to be a lawyer. I mean, if a child can't read in the country we are, he can learn something. Yeah. And it will turn out good.
But that's the culture that we come from.
When you are forcing them to do something they don't want to do, they go rebel. Because I believe in self-respect. You need respect for yourself. You respect your own. You respect every child you see is your child. You respect them. You don't say, because it's not my dress, I want to see that. Why are you crossing your leg? Dress that way. Excuse me, can you move that way a bit? The child will be like, okay, ma'am.
Yes.
I always tell my friend, I say, you don't deserve a mother. You earn it. It's the way you behave towards them. They call you mom. If you treat them anyhow, they call you by name and say, who are you? Then you lose respect straight away. So,
thank you very much for that. That is really important. So from where we are now, it looks like it's building up from the foundation that the child has. You grow up in an abusive home, obviously you'll be prone to become an abuser. You grow up in whatever home you are prone to become basically what you see. But then again, it still leaves the question of people who still grow up in a good home and then still end up coming out bad. But we will come back to that question after the break, so we'll see you soon.
Are you worried about sending or receiving money worldwide? Satisfied with your current money transfer service provider? Or just need a safe, secure and fast money transfer service? Yaye Instant Services is here for you. We send money to the Gambia, Senegal, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, Ghana and many more countries worldwide. Contact us today 020-8221-4538 or 079-309-57076 or online www.yaye.co.uk. Like or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. With Yaye Instant Services, you are guaranteed better rates, fast delivery and the very best service experience. Yaye Instant Services Limited. Reliable, affordable and instant.
Dream Party Deco and Crown Fashion, your ultimate party decoration and event management service provider. We take the stress and hustle out of event management and make your dream event into a reality. Our happy and ever-ready customer service team will guide you every step of the way, from planning to budgeting, and will customize your event to suit your dream. At Dream Deco and Crown Fashion, we've got you fully covered. Venue, check. Marquee, check. Sound system, check. Food and decoration, check. Wedding and party dresses and even a chauffeur service, double check. For further information, please call 077-382-72963. You can email info@dreampartydecorations.com. Check our website at www.dreampartydecorations.com. Dream Party, making your dream event a reality.
Welcome back to Youth Ablaze with interFace Gambia, showing on Ben TV. For those who are just joining us today on the panel, we have Mrs. Julie Okipo, aka J Star, and then we have Caroline Stanley. On my left I have Jessie, Candy and Osei Jallo. We're just rounding up on part 2 of the last program that we did, which is who takes responsibility. Is it the individual, is it the parents, or is it the society? So far we've been having discussions, and we are agreeing to disagree on a lot of things, but we've come to a baseline basically, which I believe is the foundation that the child is brought up in. Before the break, I did say that we will come back to the point of looking at how the mind works in situations like this, because what a child then sees is how they are then formed. But for many young people I know out there, in this generation, it's not like how it used to be when our parents were growing up, or when their parents were growing up, or when their parents' were growing up. So things have changed, and life has evolved, and all of that stuff. But personally for me, I know when I was growing up, I didn't see a lot of great things, but then I wanted to be great myself, and I also wanted the generation after me to have a good life. So I was then able to form my mind to forget about the things that I saw as a child and focus on the things that I can have growing up as an adult, so that my own generation can have a good life. But the mind is a very powerful thing, because most people can't seem to shift what they've seen or how they were brought up in life. So you live in a house where your parents fight 24/7. You end up growing up and all you know is that. So if you have, say, if you're a girl and you have a nice gentleman who wants to marry you and all of that stuff, and they come into your life and they're not beating you or shouting at you, you know, you feel like there is something missing. It's not right, because that's not what you are used to. That is not what you know. That's not what you've seen. So then how do we, or how can people help basically program their minds to shift from, you know, the negative things that they have seen as children and the negative things that they've seen as adults, as young adults, and, you know, bring themselves to that place where they can basically look forward to doing something good and being basically great, and, you know, moving from that negative side of life. So I would throw this question to Caroline. What do you think when it comes to dealing with the mind, trying to shift from that negativity?
I don't know, because I feel a little bit guilty when you're saying it. I feel like you're talking about me. So no, because growing up, especially when it comes to relationship, I always thought, okay, you know, how the people that surrounded me, it's all about, you know, the woman working, you know, giving their all, and then the men are just there crossing their legs and doing anything they want to do, cheating, you know, insulting you, controlling you, being commanded. I don't know, a lot of things that they do, thinking that is power. I don't know how they think. But when I met my husband and he was completely different, I'm like, okay, for the first year, all right, let's see. He will break. First year go by, he's even better. Second year go by, now we're in the 5th year, going 6th. I was like, okay. So at one point, when certain things were, you know, being discussed or decisions have been made, I just turn off and I switch off. One point I'll be so upset regarding so many other things. But at one point I realized, okay, calm down, he's different. Start seeing him as a different individual. He is not your past. He's not your mother. He's not your father. He's not any of your friends that you have met in the past before. So he is who he is. So just take it and believe that people are out there that are good. Because when you come from that environment where you believe that all men will cheat any day, any time, they will beat you, they won't have time for your children, they won't love you, then when they start, you know, it's different. But you just need to sit down and just process it and just accept that you yourself, you're good, you're worth it, you're beautiful, you are strong, you're clever, all those things that they make you feel like you're nothing, you understand? So once you start to process that in your head and believe in yourself and love yourself, then I think...
Joyce, can I add something to what you said?
Yeah, sure.
You said how, you know, when you were growing up, you didn't see a lot of good things, but then in your mind, what you wanted to do is, you know, become the best person and hope for the younger generation. Don't see what you saw. I think that's what goes through every young person. Well, not every young person mind, but every intelligent young person's mind. Me and my friends, I know for sure we want the best for ourselves and our future. But then, like, I think what some people are lacking, what some youth are lacking, is network, people who can help them out there. Because when I needed help, I had you to help me. When I needed someone to talk to, I know who I could call. And then when, like, I felt like, oh, okay, maybe I was just a bit like scared of, you know, the world and what was going on out there. I was a bit, and like, I had someone to, like, empower my mind and tell me, like, you know, you can be great, you can do that. And even besides you, it's not like they don't understand. Not just one person can help. You can have 1, 2, 3 people much older than you that have experienced the past. Like, I even had people I never knew I'll meet in my life, like some guy from, like, just people that you never know you'll meet. But then when you just sit down and talk to these people, they can give you advice and advise you on how to become greater people. But I think our generation is just a bit scared to open up. Like, because we've been hurt and we've seen so much that we're scared to tell people how we feel and, like, what can affect us and everything.
But that's the thing. At what point do you then give up? You know, because sometimes and I can relate, because growing up as a young person, you know, you try so many times to open up to people, and you try so many times to reach out to people, and people will shut you down, especially, I'm sorry to say, but from the African community, the African culture, the African background, you know, a child is to be seen and not heard, and you know, you just carry on that journey of, okay, you just sit in your corner, I'm your parent, I say you do this and you move, and when I say jump, and you jump, and you should not question. And like Auntie Julie was saying previously about education and all of that stuff, a lot of black parents want their children to be either doctors, lawyers, accountants, and basically that's the only job you can have. If you have anything less than that, it's not worth it. And I remember when I came to this country, I went to sixth form, and I didn't want to do A-levels because I didn't feel like I was able to do the courses that they had available, and number two, I didn't like the ones that they had. But for some reason, I was forced to do A-levels, and I knew I would not make it because it wasn't what I wanted to do. And so in the end, I failed. And then I found myself having to start all over again by myself. So literally, I've had to just struggle and crawl up the ladder by myself, just trying to find a way of getting to that place. And this is what I say when it comes to how we program our mind and all of that stuff. And it can be hard. It's not an easy job trying to shift your mind from all the negativity and all the bad stuff and bring yourself to that place. So Auntie Julie, I would like to hear from you. With your children, how did you do it? Because I've seen your kids and they are amazing. They're doing great things and they're moving on in life. So how did you, as a single parent, as a mother, how did you?
Thank you for that comment. My children were amazing. You give glory to God.
Yes.
As for me, people might say out there, this is not a Christianity program, we shouldn't bring God in there. Growing up with my children, I take them to church every time. Every night we pray. I tell them in the Bible, when somebody have done wrong to you, forgive the person. Don't keep them in here. Because there's something they call transfer of anger. Somebody does something to you, maybe a young woman has offended me. I see another young woman is bad as the other one. You never know people until you get to know them, and they say something to you and you start knowing each other. Then you say, oh, I didn't know he was that good. When I saw her first, I didn't want to talk to her. Then we start talking and he put me through. He told me a lot of things I didn't know about. I always tell my children, life is a teacher. The more you live, the more you learn. Never say you know everything. Always listen, even if you know it. Listen very well. You might learn something from it. So I give them confidence. I never say something to hurt them. Whether they fail, whether they pass, even if they are crying, I say, don't worry about it. You do it again. You know now, you know you fail. You know what failed you. You have to go and read again. You have to do this again. I don't force them to do something they don't like when they come, because when they were 7, it's different the way I treat them. When they go to next stage of 14, it's different the way I treat them. When they go to 15, if I say come back 11 before, I have to look at myself and say, phone me, whatever happened, let me know. So now they say, Mommy, I'll come early, I won't keep you waiting. So, I mean, you have to give them trust, confidence, believe in them, they believe in you. When you say 9, don't go back and say 8. Stand on your ground. If you have a partner, call your partner, discuss it with your partner, stand on your ground. Not when mommy is saying something different, daddy is saying something different. You are confusing the children, you are letting them lose respect from you. Because I said now, I don't want that apple to be eaten. I need them for something. Daddy said, go and take one. Now you are causing controversy between the children and the mom. So you have to learn how to stick together firm. This is what we say, and don't go beyond them. Then the children themselves, they are young adults, they are no more children anymore. When they say, Mommy, I'm going out on Saturday, no, you have to clean the house. Mom, but I just told you that I will be going out on Saturday. No, you must clean your room. I mean, Ask him, oh, where are you going on Saturday? Somebody is taking me out. Oh, who is this person? Come and sit down. Be excited. Listen. Let she or he explain to you where he's going, what is going on in their life. No. When I was growing up, I didn't know any man. I regret because me, I can't even wave a man and say, people from my school and say bye-bye. They will ask me to come and confess the sin I haven't committed. Just because my schoolmates say bye-bye to me. So now we are in a different age. This is 1990 technology time. That time there was no computer. There was a time there was no mobile phone. You go out, you are waiting for the child to come back. Now you can phone them. I remember phoning my daughter. I was scared that day, and the person you are calling, he said there's something he said on the phone. I can't hear you. Call me again. So I said, why can't you hear me? When are you? I never knew it's a computer talking to me when this phone started newly. And I dial again. I hear the person say to me, I can't hear you. Hello? Hello? I can't hear you. I say, I'm in trouble. God help me. So when eventually she come home, I said, what's wrong with your phone? What happened? She said, no, mommy, I put it there just to make people laugh. I said, that's not funny. Take it off. I nearly start calling police to track your phone. Why? I can't hear you, I can't hear you. I said, put something better. I don't like that at all. You know, things like that. We laugh over it and they say, okay, I'll take it off. You know, you don't just shout out your child, Mom, no, not now. I'm going out. When I come back, maybe that thing could not wait for.
Yes. I
had a story that a man went to Africa to bring his brother here. Apparently the woman was working, the man was working. Then the lady begged the brother-in-law, can you help me to be taking these children to school every day? The brother-in-law said, I didn't come here to be house boy or house nanny for you. So every day the wife will say, honey, can we talk? Not now, if it's about my brother. If you have him as a brother, can't you address him? Can't you talk to him? So cut a very long story short, the boy bought a gun. He shot the wife in presence of 2 children and killed them. The younger one called the dad and called police. Wow. Now she's lost somebody dear to her heart and her own dear brother. But the problem is, and the story still remains, what happened? Nobody knows what happened. Now they both dead. He's saying, oh, he said he wants to keep saying he wants to talk to me, but I never listen. I keep saying, not now, not now. He should deal with it. So at times, create that time for that child. No matter, let the work wait. Let them sack you. When my children was growing up, I'm a freelance. I don't work 9 to 7. I work to suit me. When I look at the children program, then I say to them, fix me on next week, this. So, but some parents, their children is nothing. Their work is everything. Who are you working this money for? It's because of the children. So now the children get in trouble. Even they are growing up, you don't let them meet other people, clean your room, do that, do this. The child grow up, he's 18. No man, he doesn't have a boyfriend. He get to 20, he doesn't have a boyfriend. He's 30 years old. He's still not married because you did not allow them to communicate with others. Because friendship, they say it brings intimacy. From hello, that's when you say, I love that girl. When you grow up, we are going to marry together. So let's build the relationship up. They start trusting each other. So if you don't let them communicate with other people, how are they going to meet somebody to marry them? You are not going to marry these children. Both the boy and the girls, they are going to marry somebody. They are going to live with people. So you have to trust your children. If you are a woman, you have girls in the house, know the time they have their time in the month. Discuss your own with them so that they can tell you, Mommy, I feel that pain here. Is that what it is? Some, they have the pain, they don't know who to talk to.
Unexpectedly. The
country we are is even bad that they say they give children confidentiality. They can go to doctor, they don't discuss it with a mother. But if you are open to your children, you will be able to know before the doctor. I took my children to church. We discuss Bible together. Forgiveness is the most important thing in life, because if you keep keeping people, you offend me. I'm not talking to her anymore. Oh, what about Jenny? Oh, Jenny said this to me last week. What about Carol? Carol is even worse. I'm not talking to her anymore. You move on. Somebody, this wood is not good. You take away from fire. This wood, what wood are you going to cook the food with? So I end there.
Thank you very much. That is really helpful, and I think it's a really important point that you've raised. Thank you so much. I'll just go to say, I remember on the last show you spoke about your experience as a young girl and how you were not allowed to go to school and you had to go to school at the age of 9. Yeah. But now you're a graduate, you have a good job that you love and all of that stuff. I just want to know, or could you advise the viewers at home, how did you get to that point? How did you shift your mind to basically focus on that which you know that you wanted to reach where you are today?
What would I say? I think, as we said, each individual, we are all different. We have like siblings, you have, you all have different spirituality, as you said, whether it's Christianity or Muslim and stuff. And for me, luckily, and I would say I was meant to learn, because since at a young age, I was interested in education. I used to like clean the house quickly, so I'll run to the nursery school. But when I come back, I'll get beaten up. Seeing my friends going to school, I'll be at home and stuff, I wanted to go. And, I wanted to better myself, to change that concept of women have to stay at home and be wives and mothers. And then my sister, the person who was studying my little brothers, realized, okay, I'm really bright and I need to go to school. There's no point for me staying at home. My sister spoke to my mom and my dad. They said, okay, that's fine, so you can go. And I can remember even in the Gambia, we were the first batch in the Gambia to go afternoon school. And I went there, I started doing well, even though my brothers went ahead of me, I'm older than them, but I was doing better than them. And then as time goes on, my sister realized, wow, our parents made a mistake not taking you to school, but now you are doing better than the one that they're taking to school. And I think I had that being independent because I wanted to do better for myself. I don't want to rely on someone else. And throughout my school years, I've been doing really well. And when I was a year 8 with Joyce, by the time we finished, my sister said, okay, she needs to come to England because she's doing really well and stuff. We don't want her to have anybody influence to set her back. So I came here, I was working, I came here just 1 month, even though I was 16, I started working part-time, going to college, and it made me feel independent. It was like, okay, then you can do better things for yourself. And coming from a poor background doesn't mean you have to poor for the rest of your life. And if you are a hard-working person and determined, you can get there. It doesn't matter who it is, or who try to set you down. And luckily, because I've got beautiful family, my sisters and my brothers are really, really supportive. And, with their help, that's why I'm here today. And being a parent, you have to be strong for your kids. And if you're not that strong enough, you break down, and where's the kids gonna go? They're looking up to you, and there's other kids as well, as you said. Being a mother, you have to earn it. You can be mothers to thousands of kids, and you have to be strong and be positive to the people who are around you.
Thank you so much. That was a really emotional story. Jessie, I'll just go to you. We would just like to hear, because I know you personally, and I know some of your stories and all of that stuff, but I'll just like you to just share with the viewers any experiences that you've had and how you've basically overcome them and how you are where you are today.
Basically, I loved school but didn't like where I was, and I wasn't a big fan of going to church at the time of around 2013 or 2014, and it was based on just people around me. I was just too concentrated on what people thought about me, and never thought about myself and why I needed to be where I was. And all I wanted to do is just stay by myself or stay in my room or just be away from everybody. And until I met Joyce, who, you know, I wrote a status on Facebook. You know, social network can actually be so helpful, guys. I wrote a status on Facebook which was contradicting God's words, and Joyce saw it on Facebook, and she was asking to take it off. And for the first time ever, I just tried to, you know, calm myself down and understand why she told me to take it off. And obviously I started talking to her, and then she explained to me how, you know, life, like church, you can be in the best church ever, but not like feel comfortable. It's not about the people there, it's just about your relationship with God. And since then I moved churches, and I started going to FCI, and I enjoyed it there really much. And then I just started having a relationship with God, and I moved colleges as well, because I felt like, you know, sometimes it's good to be in an environment where nobody knows you, so it's just you and focusing on your education. It's not about everybody else, not about your best friend or your ex-friends, or it's just about you and, you know, making it in life. And my aim is just to succeed. I know most people will look at me and think like, oh, that girl, but I just want to succeed. I want to prove people wrong. I want to prove to people that I can become anything I want to become, as long as I believe in myself. And that's the most important thing for us young people. We need to believe in ourselves and stop believing in stereotypes. Oh, young people just end up in the street. We won't end up in the street. We know what we want to do, so we need to start working toward it and be determined, and we will achieve.
That's right.
Thank you very, very much for that. I don't know what else to say after this lovely panel have, you know, just given us advice and shared their experiences and all of that. It is quite emotional here in the studio. I think I'm about to, yeah. But I will try my best and hold it in. But it's like what Jesse said. You just have to believe in yourself. Know what you want to do, know what you want to achieve, know where you want to go. You will hear a lot of young people who will share their experience with you and tell you that, you know what, at some point I wanted to give up. But because I wanted to make sure that I get to the place where I want to get to, I had to keep going. And I've heard so many stories of young people who have made it to the top without coming from a good background, without coming from a rich background, without having people there to support them. Me, myself, I'm a testimony, because I didn't have anybody to mentor me. It was when I reached a certain age, which was, you know, I had gone past that age of 15, 16, 17, 18, that I met certain people that then came into my life and kind of encouraged and boosted me up. But even from that age of 15, 16, 17, I still knew where I wanted to go, and I just had to keep going at it. So don't let anybody put you down. Don't let anybody stop your dream. Don't let anybody tell you you're not good enough. Just know in yourself, the fact that you are here on earth, the fact that out of thousands and billions of sperm, you were the one that basically made it to your mother's womb, that is good enough to tell you that you are good enough to make it in life. Until we meet again, thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone for coming. Stay blessed.
Jaiteh, Mr. the Kingdom. Guy off. I see you, little mama. Little mama, it's hot, hot. The way you move your body don't stop, stop. I'm drinking this Bacardi on the rocks, rocks. My vision getting blurred, so why not give it all you've got? Whipped out front, so let's go. Got some skin with plenty. Body you was meeting was a no. So I like no.